Hello friends, welcome to the EverWord with Dorinda. We started a new series titled In the Chamber of the Unmarried. In this session, we are going to unpack exactly who an unmarried is. So if we say someone is unmarried, what exactly do we mean? So I got the opportunity to engage a man who had a mistress or a side chick, as it is popularly termed. This side chick was actually heavily pregnant for this man. Meanwhile, he was already married with children. Right in my presence, the mistress called. I was privy to the conversation because his phone was on loudspeaker. This lady had a pet name for him and of course addressed him as such. She was all over the man playing lovey-dovey. I, however, noticed a disconnect on the man's face. Nonetheless, he played along. That is the power of phone conversation. The dichotomy between the reality and the words. Here is a beautiful lady who had thrown caution to the wind and decided to forcefully put a square peg in a round hole. She couldn't be bothered. Meanwhile, she was an unmarried woman, no matter how she made it look. From the man's own words, he wasn't ready to leave his wife. In fact, he was more comfortable discussing the side chick than his wife, and was still mindful of her position in his life. An unmarried person is simply one who is not married. There are various types of marriage, which falls under two main categories: the traditional or the customary marriage and the marriage by ordinance, which usually comes with a certificate. The former allows for a polygamous marriage, while the latter is strictly monogamous, one spouse. Sometimes people still find a way with this to misbehave. So being unmarried means that you have not yet been married via either of these two categories. Let's look at some misconceptions people fall for. The first one is knocking or introduction. This is where a man introduces himself to the intending lady's family to formally make his intention known to them. Please, let's clearly iron this. Introduction is a process to marriage, but not the actual thing. So if you have been tied down with this, kindly be informed that you are still unmarried. If you freely offer your womb or your semen to produce children in the name of baby mommy or baby daddy, no matter the commitment you have made, also remember that you are unmarried. Also, if you decide to heavily invest in the other partner's welfare, whereby you begin to have a sense of entitlement towards them, please remember both of you are still unmarried. To continue, if a man places you on a waiting list when he hasn't completely divorced his wife yet, such that you have already built huge castles in the air and given yourself all kind of titles, that one too is not marriage. If the other party places you in a waiting room with promises and travels outside the country, know that that one too is not marriage. If you are dating a polygamous man, please remember that too is not marriage. The popular and trendy cohabitation that has unfortunately caught up with so many people. If you find yourself in that space, as bitter as this truth might sound, you are cheating yourself. Another one too, which has kept many people under lock, is the contemporary trendy style of engagement, where a lady is proposed to with a ring. May I gently remind you that you are still unmarried, so please don't be carried away. Any relationship you are in, which is not clearly cemented under either of the two categories I earlier tabled, is not marriage. This means that any commitment you make should be measured and cautious. else it will be at your own risk. The human mind is very interesting. It understands clear-cut definitions and positioning. No matter what you try to make it believe, it knows it when the right thing is done. Until then, it remains unsecured and unsettled. By now, you know clearly who an unmarried is. We'll draw the curtain here on today's session. Always remember this: Jesus loves you and he has good plans for your life. More so, you are special and priceless. I'll come your way again by God's grace in our next broadcast. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.